Hello students. In this question, we have to calculate gross fixed capital formation from the following data. Gross fixed capital formation. You must understand that this is the part of investment. Investment has two components, fixed investment and inventory investment. Here in this method, fixed investment is also named as gross fixed capital formation and inventory investment as inventory investment or change in stock. So gross fixed capital formation is the part of which formula? I think you remember that when we use expenditure method, in that method we have the formula GDP MP equal to this GDP MP equal to private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net exports or exports minus imports. We have to find this gross fixed capital formation. In the formula there is gross domestic capital formation. This gross domestic capital formation can further be written as gross fixed capital formation, gross fixed capital formation plus inventory investment or change in stock or closing stock minus opening stock. Closing stock minus opening stock. It means we need to write this formula in this way rather than this way in the splitted form so that we get fixed capital separately, which we have to find in the question. So we can write this formula in this way: GDP NP equal to private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross fixed capital formation plus closing stock minus opening stock. These together become gross domestic capital formation. Those domestic capital formation is overall investment, which means fixed investment plus inventory investment, that is closing minus opening. And last item was plus net exports. That will be written here. We are separately given net exports. Otherwise, we would have written exports minus imports. Okay, then. So we need this gross fixed capital formation. This is final consumption expenditure. To know this, we must know all these components: GDP MP, private final, government final, closing stock, opening stock, net exports. Okay, first we have to see, are we given GDP MP or which aggregate we are given? We are given gross domestic product at market price. We are directly given it. So the sum becomes simple for us. Means if we would have been given some other aggregate, then we would have to convert that to GDP MP, as we did in the last video. We converted one to the required aggregate. But here we are already given the required aggregate. So we can simply put the values here. In GDP MP, in place of GDP MP, I'll write 2500. Private final consumption expenditure 1000. Government final consumption expenditure 500. Gross fixed capital formation, I have to calculate this, plus inventory investment or plus closing minus opening stock. Closing stock 200, opening stock 300, and plus net exports minus 50. So plus minus 50. Okay, we can bring all the elements to the left side, or we can first solve at the right side itself. Afterwards, we will make this transformation. Oh, sorry, I need to rub that. So it is 1000 plus 500, 1500 plus 200, 1700. 1700 plus gross fixed capital formation minus 300 plus minus 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 50. Both are of the same sign. They will get added and the sign will remain the same. Okay, 2500. I can bring 1700 here. Gross fixed capital formation minus 350. So 1725 minus 17 is 800. I can bring this here. Sign will get changed. Gross fixed capital formation. Here we are almost close to our answer. The sum is 1150. So gross fixed capital formation is 1150 crore rupees. That is the answer. That's it. So you can see that simply we can find the components by deciding which method is to be used. So you may note it down in your notebook. In the next video, I'll meet with the next questions.